one thing I do want to start out with is the event that took place after we got off the air on Friday night, and that was the Wing Bowl Championship. And I know I was on stage doing some of the hosting and taking care of the event, but I saw you in attendance. You stuck around for the whole thing, so you were able to see it all. And Aaron A-Train Ostoff from Dubuque won the competition, eating 3.75 pounds in 5 minutes. And you know, we haven't, I guess, hid the fact that he used to be a professional eater. We've acknowledged that many times. I think it was only fair to do so. Aaron retired though, and he was not able to compete the first couple of years because he was a professional, and we consider this an amateur event, so we don't allow professionals into the competition, but that's not to say that you can't retire and then participate. So Aaron's been on this event for the last couple of years. This was the first year he was eligible to participate, and I guess going into this, I kind of looked at it as coming down to either Aaron or last year's champion, who was coming back for a repeat, Kyle the Hammer Hanner out of St. Louis, Missouri. But along the way, it started to look like that might not be the case, at least for Aaron, because Aaron's qualifying round, he did get into the championship, but you know, in each of the 4 qualifying rounds leading up to the championship, the top 3 were able to advance, and Aaron finished 3rd in his qualifying round. And he admitted that he's never really done a wing eating contest that was only 5 minutes. Usually it's 10 to 12 minutes. So he wasn't really sure how to pace himself, and he was kind of trying to work things out, I think. But I'll be honest with you, going into the competition, if you had to ask me my favorite, I was going to say probably the Hammer to repeat again. Aaron jumped up though, eating 3.75 pounds. And to put that into perspective, the most chicken eaten in any of the qualifying rounds was 3.02 pounds. So Aaron just blew that away.
Right, and we talked about it on the show before the contest, before the finals, that we thought it'd be right around 3 pounds, upwards of maybe 3 1/4. But he beat even 3 1/4. He beat that by half a pound.
Last year's winner, Kyle the Hammer Hanner, finished 5th. So that was definitely surprising. I would have put money on the fact that the Hammer would have finished in the top 3 for sure. Top 2, probably, actually, I would have bet on. But that didn't happen. A guy from Guttenberg, Austin Mitchell, came out of nowhere.
Yes.
This guy was kind of like the silent assassin, because he actually finished 2nd in front of Aaron in the last qualifying event just a week ago. And he came in and finished 2nd, eating 3.39 pounds. So, I mean, he bested any of the other qualifying round performances during the championship. So he had a great final round too in the championship. We hope he comes back next year. The antagonist of the whole thing though is a guy from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We had him on the air on Friday, Sean $2 Nichols. And he's just the guy that you love to hate. And that's why we love to have him in this event, because he's a personality.
And he likes that role, I think. I talked to him quite a bit after his qualifying round, and I think he likes that persona.
He embraces it, and yeah, he's a big wrestling fan. I only know that because when he was here last week in the qualifying round, I talked to him a little bit about the air before we actually started the event. He said he was going up to Minneapolis after the qualifying event, and then he was picking up a buddy, and they were going to the western side of North Dakota for a wrestling show. Like, I mean, and you got to remember, he came down from Green Bay that day. I mean, so he was just bouncing all over the Midwest. He was going to a wrestling event. So anyways, being a wrestling fan, I think he's kind of taken on that the antagonist role and embraced it, thankfully, because he was going to get it, whether he wanted it or not, because he's easy not to like.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fun, and the thing that kind of struck me, there's a fellow from, I think, Cassville, had a group of, he must have been 30. Hazel Green.
Yeah, Muskie Joe.
Yeah, Muskie Joe had a following like 30 people, and they had the little gauntlet he ran through when he went up on stage, so it was a lot of fun.
Half of Hazel Green was inside Cabaret supporting Muskie Joe on Friday night, so it was a great turnout. Bill Floor from East Dubuque, who I actually know, ended up winning the flat screen TV that we gave away. So it was a great event, and also want to congratulate Star, who was our winning wingette for the money. Both Star and Aaron, the A-Train Ostoff, won $1,000 in cash. So Wing Bowl 3 was great, and I think this was the first year where you really saw an uptick in competition and talent, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. But this was the year I really just saw across the board, you know, our final 12 competitors, you saw a better brand, I guess, across the board than we have in the first 2. It was just, there was an elevated level of competition. So looking forward to Wing Bowl 4.
Yeah, it's really becoming a event rather than just kind of a sideshow or something to do. It's something that the competitors, their family, their friends come, and a lot of people off the street come to see it because they've been there before and they know how much fun it is.